A prompt hierarchy can help you decide what prompt to begin with when teaching a new skill. It is also useful for planning how to remove prompts as the child begins to acquire new skills.
Good.
A prompt hierarchy is a list of prompts for teaching a specific skill. The list begins with the prompts that provide the most help to the child and ends with the prompts that provide the least help to the child. Let's imagine you are going to teach a child how to brush his or her hair. First, you decide on an appropriate SD or instruction.
Brush hair.
My hands are all over me.
Oh, good job brushing your hair, buddy. I liked it.
Next, you identify a sequence of prompts ranging from explicit support to minimal support of the behavior to be taught. The top of the hierarchy might be a physical hand-over-hand prompt where you guide the child's hand as he or she brushes his or her hair. The next level of the hierarchy might use a modeling prompt in which you give the SD and then begin brushing your own hair or a doll's hair.
Okay, Sophie, I want you to brush your hair.
Next, you might use a positional prompt in which you give the SD, place the hairbrush in an accessible position, and then point at the child's hair. A very minimal prompt would be a pause prompt, in which you simply wait for the child to brush following the SD. At the bottom of the hierarchy might be a contextual prompt, in which the child is shown a photograph of brushing in the context of a learned sequence, such as dressing. When beginning a new task, you want to start with the lowest level of prompt in the prompt hierarchy that the child requires to be successful on that task. For example, if the child can only brush his or her hair with a physical hand-over-hand prompt, you should begin with a physical prompt. If the child can complete the task with a visual, you should begin at this level of prompt, and so on. As the child acquires skills, you need to remove the prompts by moving down the prompt hierarchy. If not removed quickly, the child can become dependent on the prompt. Using the prompt hierarchy as a guide for removing prompts helps teach children to be able to succeed independently. The technical term for this process of moving down the prompt hierarchy and removing prompts is prompt fading. Let's watch a therapist demonstrate prompt fading.
Wow!
Beth.
You want this?
Yeah.
No. Okay. I'm coming. Touch cheeks. Whoa! 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 Touch cheeks. Love it. Meow. Want to play?
Good.
Okay. Touch ears. Whoa! It's all yours!
Notice in the last trial, the therapist held her hands at the ready, but no longer used the hand-over-hand prompt. There are two ways to fade prompts using the prompt hierarchy. The first way is to fade the intensity of the prompt within a level of the prompt hierarchy. The second way is to test or probe the child's competence at the next lower level of the prompt hierarchy. With both methods, the goal is to fade prompts as quickly as possible while ensuring maximum success. It would be great if children could be prompted with such accuracy and precision that they never gave an incorrect response. Of course, this goal is unattainable. However, we can try to minimize errors by fading prompts only when we think the child can succeed with a lower intensity or lower level prompt. To fade the intensity of a prompt within a level of the prompt hierarchy, we make it less and less noticeable. For example, when using hand-over-hand prompts, you can start to apply less pressure, gradually allowing the child to move his or her hand independently. you can fade a point prompt in a similar manner by gradually gesturing in smaller and less noticeable ways. Or you could fade a verbal prompt by giving less and less verbal instructions, or by only saying the first syllable of a correct response rather than the whole word. Once you have faded the intensity of a prompt and you believe that the child can succeed at the next level in the prompt hierarchy, you can probe the child's readiness. You do this by moving down one prompt level in your hierarchy and determining if the child is successful. If the child succeeds, you can stay at that lower level prompt and begin fading towards the next lower level in your hierarchy. If the child does not succeed, you go back up to the previous level of prompt where the child was successful and work towards fading the intensity again. First, we will watch an example of a therapist successfully probing a lower level prompt. Then, we will watch an example of a therapist probing a lower level prompt where the child fails and the therapist moves back up to the higher level of prompt.
Look, I made steps.
I made steps.
Can you make steps too?
Yeah.
Oh, wow, look, you made steps. Give me a high five.
More steps.
Look, I made steps.
I'm not gonna make steps.
Can you make steps too?
Yeah. Made steps.
Oh, that's very good, Keegan. Here's your trains. There you go.
Oh.
Look, I built steps. Can you build me some steps?
Yeah. On the block.
Oh, that's a good job. Here's your truck.
Let's go my truck. I got my truck today. Has my steps there.
Mm-hmm. Look, Keegan, I built steps.
What yours go use?
Can you make me some steps?
Yeah.
That's perfect. Good job. Here you go. And let's build.
He's gonna go home. Truck's going home.
We have now defined what a prompt is and given examples of some of the more commonly used types of prompts. We discussed prompt hierarchies and demonstrated how they can be used to begin teaching a new task, as well as how they can be used for fading prompts. As we reach the end of this video, we must emphasize that fading prompts is one of the most important things you need to remember. It would be pointless to teach children to do things that they could only ever do if they were prompted. Therefore, from the very moment you begin using prompts, you should be thinking about how best to remove them.